What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. Today we're going to be doing a CountyComm mini haul. I did a larger haul from CountyComm just a couple weeks ago, but since then a couple new items came in stock that I really wanted to check out, so I submitted a smaller order this time. I think only 6 items in total, all pretty affordable items as well, so this one's going to be pretty budget friendly, but a lot of really cool gear. So I'll make sure to link to each item I show in today's video down in the description. I also have a coupon code with them, Uncommon EDC, which will save you 10% off the items I'm showing today, as well as any other items on their site. I believe it automatically applies the code when you use the link, so you shouldn't have to type it in, but just make sure you're getting the discount. If not, you have an opportunity to add it when you're checking out. And so we'll start today's video off with the item that's serving as a background today. This is a Topo bandana by Maratac, and it's a more traditional bandana. So a lot of times when I'm showing hanks on the channel, they're microfiber back. They usually have a smaller footprint. This one is your thinner kind of cotton-like material. I'm not 100% sure what it's made out of, but thinner material, no microfiber backing, and it's 22 inches by 22 inches. And so that gives it a lot more utility over your traditional hank. These are great as like a pre-filter for your water bottle that you can run the water through to get the sediment out before running it through your regular filter. Kind of extends the life there. You can use it for foraging and then tie it off when you're done. You can wrap it around gear for protection, use it as a sunshade, a bandage, all kinds of different utilities for your standard bandana, probably hundreds of them that I'm not listing as well. Now it's all just black with the green Topo pattern. This is not printed on there, that's just a sticker that came with the order. However, this logo is printed on the upper left corner, just kind of off screen here, so I did want to show what that looked like. Same exact logo, just printed onto the bandana. So this is listed at $6.95, obviously a little bit cheaper if you use that code. And then moving on to the next item, this is one of the main reasons I submitted the order, and it's their ultimate accessory pouch, or UAP. Priced at $15.95. It's 4¼ inches wide by 3 inches tall, and then about 1.5 inches in thickness. Has these straps so you can quickly attach it to MOLLE webbing, which is really nice, but you can also use that to attach it to your belt and belt carry this pouch, which is one of the main reasons I picked it up. X-Pack material, which is extremely durable, it's weather resistant, UV resistant, and have always had good experience with X-Pack. CountyComm does a really good job with their X-Pack, and they're some of the most affordable X-Pack pouches out there. Clamshell style opening, and you'll see that when we get this one open, actually, it's about the size of an Altoid tin, and by the looks of it, I think they designed it around the Altoid tin to carry that in the center. They even show that in some of the product photos. They make their own Altoid tin, which is the same size as the standard Altoid tin, but a little bit thicker, so it's gonna be a little bit more durable. That can slot right here into the center, and you can see it's kind of wider, so you can set that down with that in there. And then you have organizer pockets on either side with elastic straps, YKK zippers, and so kind of a perfect accessory to go with your Altoid tin. And I've made a lot of Altoid tins over the years. I never end up carrying them. I'll keep them in my pocket for a couple of days, and then eventually I'll move them to like a bag or the center console of my car, glove box, or wherever, and they end up getting kind of lost in there and forgotten about until I pull it out and rebuild it with something else in there. And so I always like the idea of carrying them, but never actually carry them for long term. So the idea that this one can sit on your belt, carry that Altoid tin, want to try out building a new tin and carrying it for a little bit and see how I like that. But really cool little pouch. You can see it also has a big panel of hook and loop on the outside, about the same size as the pouch, so I would imagine about 4¼ inches wide by 3 inches tall. And so you can use that to add some additional organization that has hook and loop backing. CountyComm has some that they offer, a bunch of other companies make them as well, or to put your favorite patches on there. Now I'm in LA, I'm filming this just after Game 3 of the World Series, so I'm gonna go ahead and slap on a Dodgers patch here. Apologies to any Blue Jays fan, but we'll go ahead and set that down and move on to our next item here. So next up is the Tidy Tether. This is $2.95. They have it in 2 different colors, orange and black. I got the orange just because it's a little bit more visible. The center portion is obviously going to be covered. This is just a spool tool with a cutting slot up here, so it has just a standard utility blade that I would imagine is replaceable. I haven't taken it off yet, but it looks like you can just slot a screwdriver or something in there to pop off this panel and then replace that utility blade. So they say that this one can fit about 30 feet of paracord. It's 3.5 inches tall by 2.5 inches wide at its widest point. about 850 feet of fishing line. It's also the perfect width if you want to spool some duct tape around there. I think that would be a cool way to store it. Not necessarily useful with the cutting tool there with the duct tape. You may be able to get it, but you probably have to twist it up to get it up here, and so may not be the best use of it for that. But I like the idea of having a more compact way to store your duct tape. They sell some flat pack rolls. They're a little bit messy. I think this will just be a little bit nice and organized. So I think I may use it for that. I may even order another one so I can use one for its intended purpose and then one for duct tape. But $2.95, super affordable. I have a few different tools I've shown on the channel over the years, but this one's really nice and compact, so I like that about it. Next up is another item that kind of prompted me to make the order. Recently reviewed the Vero watch, probably just a week ago. You can check that out on the channel. It's 20mm wide band, and so I ordered a new watch band, the Titanium Mill Series band, and they have this in the Topo pattern in 20mm bands as well as 22mm. Now I probably have 7 or 8 different 20mm band watches. I only have 1 or 2 in 22mm, and so obviously when I'm ordering, a lot of the times I order 20mm just for the interchangeability. I can swap it out to different watches. Brown's a pretty neutral color as well, so gonna work with a lot of the different watches in my collection. They offer it in 4 different colors as well as both 20 and 22mm, so 8 different configurations. The colors are OD green, orange, brown, and black. Again, I thought this brown was really nice and neutral, a little bit more kind of exciting than a black one, which is also pretty neutral, but they're all priced at $19, so a really cool pickup there, and you'll probably see that on that Vero watch in the near future. Moving on from there, we got the titanium fuel vessel, and this was just kind of a random add-on. I was scrolling to see if there's anything else I wanted to add to my cart, and I came across this fuel vessel. You can see it has this dimpling pattern in 3 different places that give you a little bit of traction when you want to take that cap off. You can attach it to your keychain, and this is meant for fueling up your lighters. So they sell their little lighters, I think they call them P or split P, a couple different sizes, and so you can put your fuel in there. Holds about 0.45 ounces of fuel, and then just pour that in there, and you can see it has this nice pouring spout, has a O-ring on here just to keep everything nice and tight and airtight without any leakage. But you can also screw off this next section, so there's more dimpling, so you get that traction on the lower segment. And once you unthread that, it makes it a little bit easier to fill this canister, and so you can see you have that wider opening, and then you thread that back on for the smaller opening for pouring it out. Kind of funnels it into a smaller pour there so you don't overfill your lighters, and just a nice way to carry them. CountyComm's versions are pretty good at not evaporating too much fuel. They're much more airtight with their O-rings than something like a Zippo, which tends to evaporate the fuel pretty quickly, usually within about a week or so, maybe 5 to 7 days, if you're not using any fuel saving measures. Some people put like a plastic bag on the bottom and then just cut that out so that it doesn't evaporate. There's tools that they sell that make it last a little bit longer. There's ways that you can pack that wick in cotton to extend the life, but either way, they evaporate eventually, and so it's nice to have a refill that's not going to evaporate on you. Then this is only $19.95, pretty good price for a titanium fuel vessel here. It's about 2 inches tall and 1/2 inch in diameter. Nice machining. I'm probably going to pop these O-rings off and then flame anodize this, put those back on, and have a nice kind of anodized finish on the fuel vessel. And I think that's actually the priciest item I ordered, which is only 20 bucks and about $18 after discount. Last item I ordered is the Ready Bristle Deployment Toothbrush. And so these actually come in a 4-pack, and you can see they store inside of themselves in this storage. It's about 4.1 inches. Once you pop that out and extend it, it extends to about 6 inches, and so pretty much a full-size toothbrush. Ultra lightweight at about, I think, 0.45 ounces on these as well. And so ultra lightweight, a lot of like ultralight backpackers and things like that really are into shaving ounces, and so this one's pretty lightweight. I know a lot of them just buy cheap toothbrushes and then cut them off. Sometimes they'll file them down so they have a flat little handle area, but this one's pretty light on its own. You can do it without the case if you really wanted to, but I like the fact that it nests in there, keeps it clean. Good for just regular travel to hotels and things like that, but also for your camping trips, your hiking trips. 4-pack is only $1.95, but they actually shipped it in a 5-pack. And so that was kind of interesting. Each one's individually wrapped as well, so they're pretty sterile until you get that open. I opened this one to show it off, obviously. And not only did they ship me one of these, but they shipped me 2 of them. So I got 10 of them for $1.95, about 19.5 cents each. So pretty great deal. I'm not one to complain about the extra items. I'm sure they're just trying to clear these out. These are probably some government overrun, and they have 1,000 of them. Probably not a super hot selling item either, I would imagine. But I was actually pretty excited about these. Always looking for just like compact stuff like this to toss in a bug out bag. And again, even for just standard travel, it's nice to have in your DOP kit as well. And $1.95 for 4 of them, it's a great deal. And who knows, you may get lucky and get 10 of them as well. That's everything I ordered. So pretty fun haul this time, but not a whole lot of items. Let me know what your favorite is down in the comments below. And if you do utilize that coupon code, pick anything up, definitely let me know what you picked up. I get a kind of a general sense of like top selling items, but I don't get like order summaries or anything like that. And so I'm always curious what other people are picking up. If there's anything I should be checking out on the channel, I probably will make a separate video on the UAP or Ultimate Accessory Pouch. I doubt any of this ends up in a dedicated video, although who knows, you may see it in a future pouch or bag video, or even a watch video in the case of the watch band. But thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, checking out some other content, joining the channel as a member. I'll help the channel out a ton, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.